Kath from the ORCA team, thank you.
Thank you very much, Angela, and thank you for everyone for coming to this talk, and hello to everyone who is watching this on their TV as well. So, whales and dolphins of the Fjordland adventure, what we have seen on this talk, and a little bit more about what we've been doing. And it really has been an excellent opportunity to survey new areas of the North Sea and also the fjords, which have been particularly interesting for the team, because it's not an area that's very often reached, and it's not an area that's very often surveyed. So also, what has been lovely is meeting everybody on board. And it's amazing that after 5 days of being up on the sun deck, whilst we're sailing in daylight hours, I'm still meeting new people, and it's a credit to the ship, the atmosphere, all the activities, and the crew on board that they can create such an intimate, cozy experience, but also have all this room for all the things that you're able to do, and all the adventurous spirits here can take part in all the activities, but also have the space just to relax as well. And I really hope you've enjoyed our part of this experience. So whales, dolphins and porpoises, this is our main interest as a charity, and I'm sure it's an interest for all of you here and watching too. And there really are two ways that you can see these animals. You can buy a ticket and go to an aquarium or to a zoo, and you can be guaranteed to see these animals in captivity. You will maybe not see their natural behaviours though, you won't see their natural environment. It's an environment there, it's very strange to them, very noisy and confined, and they're not able to socialise as they would do out in the wild. There is another way you can see them. This way's guaranteed, but there's another way to see them in the wild. This isn't guaranteed. It means a long time looking out to sea. You can increase your chances through areas like we looked along the Dogger Bank, areas that are well known for whale and dolphin and porpoise sightings, or maybe out on headlands where there's a lighthouse. And there's little hotspots all around the coast of the UK. But of course, these animals are wild. They're top apex predators, so there's fewer of them than other animals. Also, their numbers have declined. They are nearly all of conservation concern, and we can not even imagine how many of these animals there once were in our waters before scientists started monitoring them, which is really quite a recent thing. And even before the real artisan fishermen, there were hundreds of these animals in our oceans, and we hope in the future, if we have some protections in place, these numbers can fully recover and maybe even increase in the future. But ORCA really promotes people taking the opportunity when you're out in, near the sea or on the sea, take a look out and watch. You may see these animals, and if you do, you may see some really interesting behaviours. You may see some other things you didn't expect to see as well. And you'll also see the beautiful ocean environment, which is always there for us and is a very relaxing experience, I think you'll agree. There is a bit of a health warning, of course. It's quite a healthy occupation and hobby. But after this, you may realise that maybe some of us are suffering a bit from this, particularly myself, who's out there when it's still dark. I did see some birds flying at night the other day, which was quite interesting. But then you may go home, and if you're not near the sea, you may go to your local pond and be feeding the ducks and start just seeing fins appearing everywhere. And I'm sure many of you experienced this out on deck. I know I have. I'm sure Rachel has too. So, Organisation Cetacea, or ORCA, that's the charity we work for. And we have this fantastic partnership with Spirit of Adventure, where they allow us to come on board with our scientific team. This was led by Tracy and includes Rachel and also Faye, and then also carry out wildlife education as well, which was my main job here, which I hope I was able to do. So this has been a really, really good experience for us, and I should tell you a little bit more about what we have seen. So here's some people watching from the bridge. I've taken some of the photos from this survey just to use for this talk. And carrying out these surveys, we record only the cetaceans and the seals, their numbers and where they are. So we're taking records of the GPS, how many animals, their behaviours. I don't know if many of you got to look at our forms. I hope you have taken the chance, or we can show you. But we also take note of all the other things in the marine environment, because without them, you can't have all the other animals. It's a big food web out there, starting with the tiny plankton, and maybe even some of the jellyfish we were seeing, and then building up to these top predator animals that we were looking out for. So what did we see? We saw some sea mammals. That was fantastic. So here we go. 41 sightings of sea mammals. 39 of those were cetaceans. So cetaceans is a scientific order of whales, dolphins, and porpoises. 37